Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone's well. Nice quiet midweek, eh? Maybe not. Product roadmap update. What we're going to do is have a wee look through this, have a chat about Premier League competition, all the different ins and outs, and then hopefully at the end we can do a wee bit of lineup building. But biggest news today, obviously, is the product roadmap update. So that's going to be the main focus, I guess, for just now. So updates on things like fitness, club facilities, sustainability, etc. First and foremost, fitness is in the bin. Hallelujah. I've not really been a fan of fitness, to be honest. So we'll come back to what's happening in terms of this roadmap. But I do like the things they're doing a wee bit more rather than what they were trying to achieve with fitness. So I get what they were trying to do, but wasn't really very popular. And as it confirms here, extensive community feedback, including me probably, but I mean overall feedback. So there we go. We'll not focus on that too much, but it's good to have that cleared up, and we're not going down that route. Product team has been structured to concentrate on key priorities. I think there has been a bit of restructuring here, so I'm just carefully reading this sort of wording. It does sound like with Nicholas' post that things are being focused in different areas and things, and that's good. Iterating on Sorare Pro competition and rewards to elevate your experience across sports. Again, that's good. We'll discuss the actual competition or the extra EPL competition in terms of cash rewards, etc. But it looks like they're focusing on some good areas here. Removing friction to create a seamless mobile first experience to drive growth and conversion. Again, a really crucial point. Sorare are probably minting or selling less cards than they were a year or two ago. They're not maxing out 1,000 limited, etc. But prices have been dropping a bit, so there needs to be some new users as well. Sorare Pro sustainability and rewards. So I think when they're talking about Sorare Pro, Rivals is the kind of Sorare Lite and Sorare Pro is the full version. So we're working towards a thriving and sustainable ecosystem. Fair enough. Quite like the transparency here as well. For us to finance this, we need to sell cards, right? So basically, what that's saying is people saying stop minting things is like shut up, basically. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody's aware of that. So what they're saying is we're not cutting the supply of cards. We're trying to do things to bring some demand to the cards and etc., which is fine. From a personal level, I've been referring to minting and all that type of stuff, but it's not a case of not selling cards. It's more minting them a bit slower so that cards retain value. But that's obviously a point that's been addressed here, and there's other things happening. We need a holistic strategy where the sale of new season cards can helpfully sustain a fun and rewarding experience. So yeah, that's good. As long as you don't forget about the new season cards when they become the old season. I mean, you are obviously encouraging people to collect. So, Sorare's quite driven on utility, and if you get to a stage where cards only have utility for a season, that will also vastly affect their values as well, in my opinion anyway. You'll see a lot of the highest value cards on the platform are like under 23 cards, and that's because people think they can use them over multiple seasons. So there we go. Navigating existing regulatory frameworks has been a challenge and at times prevent us from making progress towards delivering the exciting gameplay experience we want for our community. So that's good. Good news that regulatory stuff's all working in the right direction, etc. I guess what they mean is they'll want to just have like cash rewards, and fall foul of certain gambling regulations or whatever. But they're going to bring out some exciting stuff which we're going to look at. So the Premier League winter competition we'll have a wee look at separately as well. So we'll come back to that. Academy rewards update. Temporary solution. Removing cash rewards from Academy. Fair dues. Don't think anybody really complained about that. Updates to amateur kickoff and specialists. So I don't really play these kind of these sort of areas that much, but having a sort of clear route sounds good. You need to have a route into the game as well, and having people maybe just a wee bit more segregated so that people are not always playing against guys like myself, etc., when they're earlier on in their galleries. UCAP 220 long format competitions for the Super Cap. So interestingly, we went from All Star to 270. We've missed 240, and now we're going to 220. So I don't know. It does seem that this is another sort of iteration or sort of trial on the long format. It might not, I would imagine, be the sort of defined way forward. I don't mind this kind of test where you're going in different areas and stuff. But I don't know if this is the future where you've got like it changing all the time. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of fair, gives everybody a fair chance. But might be better to actually sort out a longer format and make it a bit more stable. But there we go. Competition will run for 8 game weeks, 4-2-7, 4-3-7, 4-3-4. So I think that's just after the international break, etc. Hang on a minute. We're at game week 4-2 at the moment, so still a couple of weeks away. Similar format, your top 4 scores will accumulate towards leaderboard score. You need to submit a team, so just automatically sort of works. The only reward at the end is again similar to 270, but obviously kind of hopefully sort of enhanced rewards. I mean, in 220, it's the kind of lowest of the quality of the rewards that would be given out. So, it's probably good to sort of try that in this area as well. And there'll be some star card rewards and stuff in the Cap 220 monthly as well. So let's have a wee look and see what the further information in that is. Actually, I want to see if it tells you what the prize pools and stuff are. So, is that available yet? Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah. Tier 1 rare for the limited. So you've got star limited but less rares. So with tier 1 rares pretty good, but there's no actual star rares, etc. there. So that's a wee bit of a change from the way the 270 was working, for example. See what the rare one's like. You move my face out the way. Prize pool in the rare. So yeah, you've got 3 star rares in the rare version, so that's pretty good. Wee bit of a difference from the other one. You had some super rares in here for 270, but then again you would kind of expect that as well because you were up at 270 and people try to encourage people to move up. Super rare cap 220 has a super rare star for first. Tier 1, tier 2, right down to tier 5. So yes, pretty top heavy from that point of view, but a real sort of skill based type format that as well. So I don't mind trying it that way. From my own point of view, obviously, I'll not be getting many Celtic stacks or whatever in there, but that's what it is. So proper sort of skill based level, and they bring a bit of sort of demand to some of the lower average cards. So we'll see where that goes in future, but I don't know if that's the kind of the set future of it, if that makes sense. By mid-December, your manager profile experience will expand with the launch of manager levels. I think that's quite good. I think it's really something they should have in terms of a kind of VIP type program. Getting access to certain things if you move up, giving you a reason to move up, give you a reason to kind of keep playing sometimes if so you get to the summer and you say, well, yeah, I don't really like the MLS, I'm just going to take the summer off, but you've got a certain manager level and you've got to play on to maintain it or reach a higher level. So having a sort of progress level through the game's quite good, and the goal obviously is to reward long-term success of managers, and allows you to personalise things as well. So that sounds really good. No individual details of it, but you know, that could be pretty good. Rivals progress check-in. So basically, there's a sneak peek of rivals. Not going to go into that too much just now, but it's quite interesting. They're talking about skill-based ELO ratings, etc., to match you up against other rivals at a similar level. So it's reference to reputation, so it sounds like it's more the free-to-play sort of version of rivals, etc. And hopefully that gets people quite involved, actually. Sounds quite fun. And the thing with rivals is it seems to be kind of aimed at single games and things too, which is quite good. They've launched the instant buy. We'll come back to instant buy a wee bit when we're discussing the EPL tournament. But instant buy, I think, is actually quite a good thing. People are always saying, Sorare are minting more cards, all that sort of stuff. But if these are cards they would have auctioned anyway, then it's good. And also, you don't have to wait in the auction. So sometimes maybe you want a card before a deadline, or maybe you just want to buy it from mobile. So I think the real positives are that you can buy from mobile. People get involved in the game. They're playing rivals. They might say, well, I want to actually buy that card because that will get me extra points. It'll get me a way into the game, and it provides a pathway. So it's interesting. Thank you to the community for continued feedback. Please say I've been a bit involved in the feedback as well. Thanks to Momo for sort of messaging me back from time to time, and also a few chats recently as well. I think that's something that's got to happen. There's been roadmaps coming out and people just didn't really like fitness, and there's other things people didn't really like, and it's good to get these things bottomed out before you put out a crucial roadmap, because you've got to keep in touch with users. So there we go. But it sounds pretty positive overall. So if we could actually press the right buttons, I'm going to talk about the big sort of headline act here, which is the Premier League winter competition. So headline $500,000 in total cash rewards. So the first thing to point out here is cash rewards. It's not we're giving out more cards, minting more cards. You're getting cash. So that's the first headline. Hold on to your scarves. That's scarves and badges. Running from 25th of November to 30th of January. So starting fairly soon after international break, basically. And it will be based on card scarcity as well. Interesting thing there is that it will be limited, rare, super rare, and unique. So there's no kind of pro versions in between or whatever. You're playing one or the other. That's it, as far as I can see. The rewards will be top 1,000 lineups every week. So rather than going a longer format, it's like individual you enter this week, which probably good from the fun point of view. You get obviously more chances to enter, etc., and you get a chance to win every week. Game week schedule is on there, so don't think we really need to analyse that too much. Seems to be a couple of games which aren't covered for whatever reason. Crystal Palace, Newcastle, etc. At least that's good. They've told people about it already, so pretty upfront. Man City, Brentford postponed because of Club World Cup, so that's good. Game rules, so cap 270 in terms of the points cap. So again, that's interesting, not uncapped, which is good. That's based on the player's last 15 average if you're kind of new to this. Experience points and captain's bonuses apply as well. So it doesn't say what the power of captain bonus is, but usually in cap 270 is 50% captain. So I'd assume it's probably the same. Only Premier League players' scores are covered. So yeah, it's got to be somebody playing in the Premier League at the moment. So if you've got like Odysseus and you've got a card from out with, then you can still use it because it's in the Premier League, but it won't count towards one of the current season cards. So eligibility wise, This is where I'm a wee bit sad. This is a good update. I do like this update. But as somebody who has like a full launch season Man City limited collection and spent money in rares and everything from last season, I actually don't really have any cards at the moment that are eligible for this because I went in and bought the cards when the EPL came. So that's interesting. I won't dig into that too much. People have for and against arguments for that, and this has been focused on current season cards, and gives people a chance to come in and actually if they want to come in and play in the limited version, then they're in the same foothold as me at the moment. So I understand the reasoning behind that. 4 cards needed in current season, so limited, heavily focused. You're only allowed to use 1 card from previous seasons, so it's heavily focused on this season's cards. And then it's tapered down, which is probably quite good because, to buy free Premier League cards in the rare side of things is pretty expensive. Super rare cards, again, 3 and unique 2. Quite interesting to see who's actually able to enter these types of competitions, but that's a different point altogether, or whether some existing users will open the biscuit tin, as I say. I need a wee drink of tea. Going wild in the aisles. Multiple entry, so managers can enter up to 3 lineups in each game week. So you can put in different strategies, and you can win multiple rewards if you do well. And this will be analysed. We believe multiple entry format offers compelling variations of 7-sided or 11-sided competitions that we discussed with the community. So that's pretty interesting. First mention of like 7-sided and 11-sided type competitions, and yeah, it's multiple entry. So I don't think that these ones are going to be 7-sided. I think these are going to be, these are going to be 5-man team type ones. So you need 5, but there's kind of leaving the door open for bigger competitions later, which is good. So these are prize pools. So we're going to give out $500,000 in total over that time, which is pretty good, to be honest. Better use of the money than the academy, etc. I would have said. So each individual competition, $1,000 for first for the limited, paid right down to top 800, down to $8. No cards, just cash. So pretty interesting. Rare version, $1,500 for first, right down to $60 for top 150. And then super rare and unique, well, nobody cares. Just not huff because I can't enter. Shut up. $2,000 for first, right down to $300 top 15, and top 4 paid in the unique side of things. What I would say is there's not been that many of these cards minted so far this season, so we're going to see an increased auction schedule in those. I don't know. You don't get instant buy at this level. That only applies at limited. And you still need like 2 current season uniques to get in, etc., which sounds pretty easy, but because it's so specific, that's actually that's going to exclude a lot of people and things as well. So yeah, all of that is very, very interesting. So coming back to the main Sorare screen, thoughts on that? Been a good reaction. People seem to like it. That's good. There's a lot of cards selling already. Like I looked at like James Ward-Prowse and he was like 36 quid or whatever, and they were the instant buys and he was selling for less, and the new seasons have just sold straight away and the next auction's already at that price. So people are shopping like posh spice on coke in terms of the limited so far. So everybody's going a bit daft and there's a bit of hype and stuff, which is nice to see. We hope people don't like horrendously overpay or whatever, but I don't think 36 quid for James Ward-Prowse averaging the average he's doing is a horrendous overpay or anything. But yeah, it's good to see a bit of hype coming towards those. I think overall it's a really good product roadmap, more in tune with the community, more in tune with what we need to do, and some honesty there as well. Look, we need to sell new cards, we need to bring value to new cards, at least they're actually finding a good way to do it, and hopefully this type of competition will be marketed to all the EPL viewers and the Twitter, FPL, all that type of stuff. And it's something that is probably more kind of pick up and play, dare I say it. I mean, yeah, if you buy at the start of the competition and you use these cards over the course of that winter series, then you get loads of different chances to win some money with that. So that would be the main difference. You go and play your fan team or whatever, which is based on FPL. You pay some money to enter, and then next week you pay more money to enter, and then next week you pay more money to enter. With this, if you buy 10 cards or whatever from the EPL, you can use them right the way through. So that's pretty interesting. I'm not going to go through my gallery, but you can see obviously pretty heavy focus on Celtic as always, etc. But just have a wee look and seeing that this is my only kind of disappointment, wrong word. I love it. I think it's a really good direction for Sorare. I think it's a really good thing to do, but from my point of view, it doesn't do anything for me, which people probably don't care about. So he wins every week, who cares? But yeah, I mean, I've got a Man City collection, which I bought from the launch collection, or the launch edition, sorry, not the launch collection, but bought as a sort of launch edition. And these cards are completely useless in this competition. So, they brought out a Premier League competition, and in limited, you can only use one of these a week. So, that's the kind of the downside from my point of view, but then it also maybe entices people like me or whatever, if I want to play, to buy some more of this season's cards or whatever. Whether or not I'll do that, that'll be another decision. The other thing as well is that if all the new cards are going to be getting into this competition, which a lot of them will do, it means they're not going into other competitions. So you use your Man City cards or whatever in other competitions, and you'll have less of the similar cards to play against. So there's pros and cons, and it is an extra competition. So that's obviously pretty good. But I do understand that if people have joined or they bought the EPL cards when the EPL's come and they've not had any competitions like this, and then you get a big competition where you're giving out loads of cash prizes and they can't really use their cards in it, I can understand why people get pissed off at that. But that's the only real kind of negative I can sort of find in this. This is a good direction to go down. Why is it a good direction to go down? Well, it's at $500,000. That sounds like a lot. It is a lot. Sorare, I think, pay out more every weekend in podiums and thresholds and things. So, it's quite a bullish way to go about it, but I don't think it's an overexposure bullish way where you're thinking, oh, that's not sustainable or whatever. And, they've probably recouped some of that today in the instant sales and the limited and stuff. So the money will start coming back in already. Plus, it's something you can really market to people. You can try and bring in users, try and attract users, try and get existing users to spend a bit of money. Certainly if I've got to near Christmas and I haven't really bought many of the new ones or whatever, and I'm spending some money for Boxing Day and I'm sitting, hungover or having an hour Guinness or pretty fat from my Christmas dinner, then yeah, I might buy a couple of limited and just enter as more of a sort of fun thing. So there we go. I guess you've got to consider the effect of doing things like this. The new season EPL cards are going to go pretty high, so people need to watch they don't go too bonkers and kind of, after the competition ends or whatever, if the cards start to drop a wee bit. So be wary of that. I think that one of the main advantages if the prices go up is actually what Sorare can do for the other competitions. If this brings value to a lot of the cards, then these cards are also available to reward in other competitions. So, if Haaland goes up in value, then that means every time someone wins a Haaland in the under-23s limited or wins a Haaland in Champion Euro, which is cross-champion Euro, not just EPL, then it's a more valuable prize. So it's good to see some things happening and some efforts been made to actually bring some value to the cards. And cash prizes as well, so far it's not really worked terribly well this year because, just giving out more cards or whatever, okay, it gives out more rewards, but there's still the issue that if people want to sell them, you need demand for them, and are you driving the prices down? So with the instant sell mechanic, where if people buy, then either they're away or the next one that goes on comes out the auction schedule and goes up on at 10-20% more or whatever, then that's quite interesting. So I'm good, just because we were talking about James Ward-Prowse, we're gonna have a look and see what's happened with him. So yeah, we've got two auctions on the go just now. We have no instant buys, and the next auction's at 36 quid, which I think was the instant buy price earlier. There's Donny on there, the footy die. How you doing, mate? Hope you're still watching the channel. So public offer actually 42, so somebody's paid above that already. These are all the older cards, so obviously people are maybe buying JWP is their one type card that you can enter from previous seasons. Look at the difference in the price between older season and your season. I do know, because I looked at this earlier, you can't see here, but there have been two instant sales instant buys. It's sold by Sorare at this price here, 36 quid. So the limiteds already went above 36 quid, and also people are buying previous season cards as well. So this is definitely bringing demand towards EPL cards. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't say it on this product roadmap in terms of when you go in, but if you look down here, you'll see some bits and pieces that Sorare have mentioned. This rewards experience is just a first of its kind. Beyond the winter special, we're committed to exploring additional competition iterations with different eligibility rules, league specific and for older season cards. So when's the fucking SPFL competition? Excuse my language. When's the Celtic competition? That's a pretty specific request, but yeah, manager progression. I know Sorare are taking community feedback. That's been involved in it, and we're seeing some improvement there as well. So anyway, we've talked for a good half an hour about the product roadmap, etc. So that is pretty interesting stuff. So firstly, if you liked the video, please subscribe, like, all that stuff. As Quinny says, all that good stuff. If you have any comments on this, leave them on the comments or leave them on the Twitter post as well, because I'm interested to see everybody's thoughts. Lots of reaction and everything here already on Twitter. So anyway, that's the roadmap stuff. We're going to do a couple of sort of lineup builders, I think, as well. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because everybody will be fed up listening to me at this point. I hope you're not. I hope you're sticking with us. The other thing as well, thanks very much everyone for watching the podcast with MPen. Really went down well, really been one of the best sort of videos or podcasts I've done in terms of watch hours and people getting involved in it. And I'm turning 21 soon, so I've got a big birthday coming soon. So I'm going to be out of the game a wee bit for that. Just having many teas and stuff, not Guinness or that, but just tea, But then we'll hopefully get a catch up with MPen as well. So that would be good. And it was fun as well. It was pretty enjoyable. So on to the weekend, change of pace. What's happening? Big weekend coming up. Celtic playing Aberdeen. The last time Celtic played Aberdeen, actually won the All-Star Unique. The cards I won have been a bit jinxed since, because I've not been able to use Courtois, and Andy Robertson's done his shoulder now, but I did win the All-Star Unique, so that's pretty interesting. So we'll have a look. I'm not sure if I've got the full regalia for this weekend, but so let's see. So yeah, Alisson obviously pretty good home game. Brentford are pretty handy, Liverpool clean sheets, not always been that good this season. Robertson injured anyway in terms of using the unique. Nick College, pretty good option. So you see Robertson there listed if anyone has a realistic bid for it. Bart Ryan's unique, so that's pretty interesting choices. Matt O'Reilly, taking it off at half time midweek, just rested, I think. Rested at the weekend. Celtic were getting hammered, down to 10 men, took them off. Furuhashi. And then it's a wee bit of choice, but nothing brilliant. I mean, Jordan Larson did actually come on and score last game in domestically, which was good. Bokker a bit all over the place just now. Manager resigned after the Libertadores final, and Eo Tanaka has been playing actually and doing pretty well. So it's an option of going in there. I don't know if I'm going to do that, to be honest. Probably going to be running something kind of Celtic focused in All-Star Super Rare, Challenger Super Rare, but that option's still there. Still quite early in the week, still got the Champions League games to go and everything, and obviously check on lineups, etc. I think that's going to be a kind of headline here though, in terms of Celtic. So yeah, I'm going to be going pretty strong, I think. Again, Carter Vickers, he did get that rest midweek, so there'll be a school of thought saying maybe, does something like that happen again? It's proper painful from my point of view. Matt O'Reilly was the one 1-3-0 at Ross County, and that really kind of buggered things up, for want of a better word. I don't know. I haven't done the play sharper sort of predictions as yet, so from that point of view, that's still to be done. But it's going to look something like this. I think it's just got to be honest. Or, could be a chance taken, and it could look something like this. Celtic fans not been the biggest fan of David Turnbull, but in the home games, in these games where we need a goal, etc., he's been playing recently. So, assuming everybody starts, which is a big assumption to make with all these games ongoing, etc., but that has got an amazing chance of winning something. So that's going to be something that I'm definitely going to be looking at. Turnbull's either going to be going in there, or in terms of the safer option with McGregor, Turnbull could well be, somebody I use in the under 23s, Rare Plus, etc. there. In terms of Challenger Europe Super Rare, well, we sneak peek earlier. It's got to be the men, Nikolic, Bryans. So the funny thing is, well, put Bryans in a team. I think Furuhashi never scored, which is a wee bit of a habit recently. I hope he doesn't keep it. Bryans actually hit like a 90, and then Nikolic, who's usually very reliable, had an error led to goal. So there we go. You can't win them all. You cannot win them all. Some interesting options coming back in here. Firstly, Nicholas Madsen on pens. So, well, he was on pens, but he was injured. He was in and out. Came back in the cup, scored a pen in the cup, and then he put in a good performance last game. So definitely a good candidate for playing in there. Furuhashi Super Rare been used elsewhere, so the unique's out of commission. So that's going to be an interesting choice as well. Maeda gets sent off midweek, so good old Dyson, but he's had a rest. So actually, this might be a team I use him in. To be fair, may well be a team I use him in. And Carter Vickers, I don't know. I mean, I say I don't know. I mean, he looked okay midweek, but Celtic got battered a bit, and will Rodgers maybe change it up a wee bit? That's going to be the risk. But there's Tuesday to Sunday for the game. So does he keep the defence quite consistent now after maybe giving them the planned rest? The problem is we don't know what the planned rest is. Is there another game planned for rest for Carter Vickers, or is there not? Has he had his planned rest? We're just second guessing or whatever. What I was saying so earlier is that you just got to kind of use your best cards. Sometimes you get done in, etc., and it's frustrating. There's no doubt about it, but what can you do? You just got to kind of use your best cards. I guess Alistair Johnson kind of a one to use in here as well, actually. Probably go with Madsen on pens. STVV are a very exciting team, but they're a bit leaky as well in terms of goals conceded, and Westerlo. So is Westerlo calling it? Yeah, they're at home. So something like that in terms of Challenger Europe Super Rare. We'll go down a level now and have a wee look at the sort of rare level. Again, I'm not going to spend like half an hour going through this, just quite early in the week, still teams to play, etc. Normal focus in terms of moving my bald head out the way. Under 23 rare plus. So I saw it was an interesting one. Trubin, uh, Benfica hammered by Sociedad, which doesn't really usually surprise me. And Sociedad are a pretty good team, and Benfica are bottom of the group, so that's kind of them done in Europe. I would imagine, unless they get 2 results in the sneak third place, they have been absolutely pumped. Sporting are no great shakes these days either, so Trubin's still in the reckoning there. Kim Jong Un was rested midweek. Osako playing against Consadole, who are pretty rotten. Panda are a pretty good option at home. Heracles are reasonably low down. Mesley probably have a wee bit of confidence after that really nice sort of save at the end of one of the previous games. Interesting. You have Indyouth against PSG, that's a tough one. But you'd imagine if he does concede only 1 or 2, then it's going to be a big AA performance. Zach Kemen, good personal friend of mine's. Sorry, Ian, the bar steward. I know you're trying to get one, so I'm not going to mention him. Moving on. Zian Suzuki away from home. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. What are Benfica going to kind of screw the nut or whatever there? That's the conundrum or whatever there. I think I probably will be back in Trubin. He's good. He just is good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Defence wise, so in the plus, got to use some super rares, right? So Sukawara away, Feyenoord's pretty tough. That's a tough one. Got Frimmers at home. He's always pretty good at home, to be fair. Just not really a big kind of AA type guy, so all around scores. People are kind of new. Valentin Gomez, good option as well. In terms of midfield, El Canus, a pretty obvious option there. Could kind of take more a chance and put in DT here. That's if Jay hasn't actually hit him with some form of bottle or whatever by the time we get to this point. That's just a joke, by the way. In terms of forward, so Take, Almeria are very leaky. Very, very leaky. I'm just trying to see. Recording this at the moment during the Champions League stuff, so hang on a minute. See what the script here is. So yeah, Benfica got hammered, but I don't think Kubo really got involved in the actual decisives, which is a shame. So finished 3-1. Kubo played 70 minutes, so I'd imagine he'll be alright for that game. Doku is definitely going to be used somewhere. I mean, he was great when he came on. I think Pep will use him in that game. Famous last words. And I could go with the defensive stack here with Antonio Silva. Kind of makes sense, actually. Just, people say, why does that make sense? Because they've just get absolutely hammered in Europe. So he put in a pretty good score in this game still as well, and I think it has to be Taki against one of the worst defences in history, I think, Almeria. I do rate Luis Maximiano, no jokes in that. I do think actually he's decent, but Almeria are pretty rotten. So then we've got obviously the second choice, probably keep Trubin as choice for somewhere else. We'll look at Caps soon actually, because that's one still got a chance of very good reward in. I think out of these ones here, I think Panda kind of stands out. Home game, playing against not the best of teams. Schlotterbeck away at Stuttgart. That's going to be, Stuttgart were pretty good this season, so not the easiest. Feyenoord AZ, so a lot of teams playing against each other here as well. Satalo against Almeria. Ajax have been quite steady at the back now in terms of selection, not steady in terms of conceding etc, but certainly selection. But they do have Brighton coming up, so that's kind of a real interesting point. So I think in terms of this selection, probably got to be Saliba at home to Burnley. I mean, Burnley have been pretty rotten. Saliba probably has a wee bit of a risk in terms of rotation given Arsenal are playing midweek, but what can you do? You just got to, sometimes you kind of got to go with it. In terms of midfield here, do I go just go bonkers and David Turnbull? Just play him again. I don't know. It's a difficult one. Thiago Almada. So Atlanta, I've got another game. did pretty well in the previous game, so that's quite a good selection choice to have. Matt O'Reilly, obviously, pretty good selection choice to have. Probably keep one of them back for um, the actual Celtic stack as well. I've got to play them somewhere, so play the two mids in the other plus, so it kind of means I can't get O'Reilly in as well, unfortunately. Doku, got to go in, which is so good when he's scoring, or starting, sorry, not scoring. Phil Foden, pretty tempting as well, as is Musiala. Musiala started again tonight, so Bayern do tend to kind of rotate a wee bit after international games. Not international games, that's rubbish. Champions League games, etc. So you've got to watch out for that. That's the kind of danger. Still a pretty good choice. I think probably going to go with Almada. So that's a must-win game, and it looks like it's away, but it's a neutral venue, so I'm pretty sure that they're playing the decider. I'll need to double check that and just make sure that fixtures not sort of catching out there. But and then Matt O'Reilly or Doku. Nice choices to have, to be fair. O'Reilly will be fresh, so I go with MOR. Let's go for Payne again. 2 weekends in a row. Shafted. Cap 270 rare. So again, with the Cap 270 competition, this is the version where you have no weekly rewards. By this point, if you haven't got any reasonable chance of winning anything, there is no point in entering. Same for limited, and the 221's not starting until later on. So let's have a go at picking a wee sort of strong lineup for a 270. Is anyone lurking with pretty good average? Quite like Zach Hemmings' average just now. Obviously, I'm away from home, so Dundee have actually been reasonably good this season, which is quite surprising, but there we go. Thomas Durso, really good cap cost actually. So Gymnasia actually kept a clean sheet last game, which is a bit of a change. And anyway, I think I'll might actually go with Durso. Nice 11% bonus because I've held him, and also 40 cap cost, so right under the average, kind of boosting it up, giving us a bit of a chance for the other ones. I think I'm going to go a bit bonkers in this one and just fucking put Joey Veerman in here. Just see if I can fit him in. Again, there's probably a wee bit of a rotation risks. PSV played last night, but that's what it is. So I think I would kind of go with full on attack at the top 10 in the leaderboard, see if we can snag one of those star rares. Average of 52 left, so that's again where it starts to get a wee bit trickier. Just a wee bit. Let's see what kind of options we've got here. So good options, which is nice. Mobley scored midweek. Nice to see you back, Chiro. You're alive. So nothing really hugely standing out down here in terms of brilliant fixtures. Obviously, I'll check the pick scores and everything as well. I think Branko van der Boomen's injured for Ajax, which is a shame. Nothing serious, don't think, but he's injured at the moment. Gakpo might get a game at home, but again, that's kind of guessing games a wee bit there. Bongonda's not been amazing. Giacomakis was awesome in the home game here, so actually that's a pretty good shout, that I think. Just he really did well against this team in the last game, and 3 decisives, I think, goal and 2 assists or something, and put somebody in. I don't know how he missed it. So anyway, and then for the last choice, which is just provisional just now, we're really early in the week. Guilherme Arana's pretty good at home. Alistair Johnson, he was rested before Champions League, so I think probably start against Aberdeen. See what else we've got lurking here. Guiri. That could be a quite good shout actually, because Leon have been absolutely atrocious. So if he doesn't start for Rennes, that could be the shout, because home game, Rennes usually score a few goals, and also Leon are just poor. Same the Leon shout as well, and Joey Veerman captain. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting selection there. We'll go through scarcities and we'll pick something else as well. So we'll stay on theme. We'll pick the Celtic one and then we'll wrap it up. Just because I haven't put up the play sharper yet. But so Joe Hart, pretty easy in goals. Got to pick a defender. My only concern with Liam Scales is he's not been rotated at all. He'll probably be playing with Ireland as well, but he does seem to be kind of cruising through games, and centre back's kind of the position where you don't expend the most energy. So now that I've said that, Scales will probably be rested and Vickers will not. But kind of nice to have a wee kind of different option from the upper scarcities. We can't got to go with Matt O'Reilly. I mean, he's one of the best in the platform, far less Celtic. So what can you really say there? Maeda should be fresh. Furuhashi stayed on, but I imagine he's going to feature heavily at home. He has been managed a wee bit recently in terms of minutes. So forward wise, Furuhashi, Maeda, I think it's got to be Furu. Quite interesting that new season collection bonus is getting quite high. So it just shows you how quickly it can catch up. Obviously, I've bought the whole team, as I usually do. And then in terms of going with him, they're obviously playing for like the home clean sheet, but I don't think you need to go multiple defenders. I do think McGregor will start this game. Sorry, not McGregor. I do think Turnbull will start this game. And I think that he's got the big score in him at home as well. So what's the best of the averages with Turnbull? The other thing with that is if Turnbull starts and he's taking a few set pieces or he's on the pens, well he is on the pens or was on the pens, then you've got that kind of capability and stuff there in terms of, two midfielders who are getting AA, hopefully some big scores. Scales really good in the AA and hopefully Furuhashi scoring like a hat trick or something. Scales probably due a goal. But I'm just going to go with the pain and back Matt O'Reilly again. So there we go. We've covered a lot there. Not bored myself to death yet. Hopefully I'll not bored everybody else to death. Do appreciate everybody watching. As I say, if you could like and subscribe if you're really enjoying the channel, that would be much appreciated. We'll be back with some giveaways and stuff later on. We'll see how things are sort of ironing out in terms of the ongoing cap competitions and in terms of the Premier League competition and the like as well. But that'll do us for midweek. I'm going to go and watch Champions League games. I'll spend some more time on the lineups over the next couple of days. If you're playing midweek, good luck and go fuck. And I hope you've enjoyed or found it insightful to have some comments on the roadmap. Give me your comments on YouTube or on Twitter if you think I'm talking rubbish. On that note, good night, Vienna.